Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Janesville Performing Arts Center, welcome and thank you for coming to this, the 6th live radio drama presented by the JPAC Radio Players. Tonight, we are pleased to present two modern Christmas classics, A Charlie Brown Christmas by Charles M. Schulz, and the original tale of How the Grinch Stole Christmas by the immortal Dr. Seuss. These two stories use very different means to convey the same message about the true meaning of Christmas. And in the spirit of the season, if you haven't yet turned off the jingle bells on your cell phone, please do so now so we can all enjoy the show. And now, sit back and relax and enjoy the JPAC Radio Players production of How the Grinch Stole Christmas.
Trim up the tree with Christmas stuff, like bingo balls and roof fluff. Trim up the town with goo-goo gums and bizzle bigs and worms. Trim every blessed window and trim every blessed door. Hang up goo-goo bricks, then run out and get some more. Hang pantukas on the ceilings, pow pampunas on the floor. Trim every blessed needle on the blessed Christmas tree. Christmas comes tomorrow, trim you, trim me. Trim up your tree with fuzzle fuzz and flip gloofs and wuzzle wuzz. Trim up your uncle and your aunt with yards of roof of flame.
Every Who down in Whoville liked Christmas a lot, but the Grinch, who lived just north of Whoville, did not. The Grinch hated Christmas, the whole Christmas season. Now please don't ask why. No one quite knows the reason. It could be, perhaps, that his shoes were too tight. It could be his head wasn't screwed on just right. But I think that the most likely reason of all may have been that his heart was 2 sizes too small. But whatever the reason, his heart or his shoes, he stood there on Christmas Eve, hating the Who's, staring down from his cave with a sour, grinchy frown at the warm lighted windows below in their town, for he knew every Who down in Whoville beneath was busy now hanging a holly Who wreath.
And they're hanging their stockings.
He snarled with a sneer.
Tomorrow is Christmas. It's practically here.
Then he growled with his Grinch fingers nervously drumming.
I must find some way to keep Christmas from coming. For tomorrow I know all the Who girls and boys will wake bright and early. They'll rush for their toys. And then, oh, the noise. Oh, the noise. Noise, noise, noise. There's one thing I hate, all the noise, 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 noise.
And we'll shriek, squeaks, and squeals, racing round in our wheels. And we'll dance with jing-tinglers, tied onto our heels.
We'll blow our flu-fluvers. We'll bang our tartukas. We'll blow our hoo-hoopers. And we'll bang our gardukas.
They'll spin their chumtukas. They'll slam their sluslunkas. They'll beat their bumboopas. And they'll wham their huwonkas.
And we'll play noisy games like Zuzita Karze, a roller skate type of lacrosse and croquet.
And then we'll make ear-splitting noises galooks on our great big electro-hucarnio flukes.
Then the Who's, young and old, will sit down to a feast. And they'll feast, and they'll feast, and they'll feast, 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 feast. They'll feast on Who pudding and rare Who roast beast. Raw roast beast is a feast I can't stand in the least. And then they'll do something I hate most of all. Every Who down in Whoville, the tall and the small, They'll stand close together with Christmas bells ringing. They'll stand hand in hand, and those Who's will start singing. And they'll sing, and they'll sing, and they'd sing, 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 sing.
And the more the Grinch thought of this Who Christmas sing, the more the Grinch thought,
I must stop this whole thing. Why, for 53 years I've put up with it now. I must stop Christmas from coming. But how?
Then he got an idea, an awful idea. The Grinch got a wonderful, awful idea.
I know just what to do.
The Grinch laughed in his throat.
I'll make a quick Santa Claus hat and a coat.
And he chuckled and clucked.
What a great Grinchy trick! With this coat and hat, I'll look just like Saint Nick.
You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch. You really are a heel. You're as cuddly as a cactus. You're as charming as an eel, Mr. Grinch. You're a bad banana with a greasy black peel. You're a monster, Mr. Grinch. Your heart's an empty hole. Your brain is full of spiders. You've got garlic in your soul, Mr. Grinch. I wouldn't touch you with a 39.5-foot pole.
All I need is a reindeer.
The Grinch looked around. But since reindeer are scarce, there was none to be found. Did that stop the Grinch? Ha! The Grinch simply said,
If I can't find a reindeer, I'll make one instead.
So he took his dog Max, and he took some black thread, and he tied a big horn on top of his head. Then he loaded some bags and some old empty sacks on a ramshackle sleigh, and he whistled for Max. Then the Grinch said,
Giddy up!
And the sleigh started down toward the homes where the Who's lay a snooze in their town. All their windows were dark. No one knew he was there. All the Who's were all dreaming sweet dreams without care when he came to the first little house of the square.
This is stop number 1.
The old Grinchy Claus hissed as he climbed to the roof, empty bags in his fist. Then he slid down the chimney, a rather tight pinch, but if Santa could do it, then so could the Grinch. He got stuck only once, for a minute or two. Then he stuck his head out of the fireplace flue, where the little Who stockings hung all in a row.
These stockings,
He grinched.
are the first things to go.
Then he slithered and slunk with a smile most unpleasant around the whole room, and he took every present. Pop guns, pampugas, pantukas and drums, checkerboards, bizzlebigs, popcorns, and plums, and he stuffed them in bags. Then the Grinch very nimbly stuffed all the bags one by one up the chimney.
You're a vile one, Mr. Grinch. You have termites in your smile. You have all the tender sweetness of a seasick crocodile, Mr. Grinch. Given the choice between the two of you, I'd take the seasick crocodile. You're a rotter, Mr. Grinch. You're the king of sinful sots. Your heart's a dead tomato splotched with moldy purple spots, Mr. Grinch. You're a three-decker sauerkraut and toadstool sandwich with arsenic sauce.
Then he slunk to the icebox. He took the Who's feast. He took the Who pudding. He took the roast beast. He cleaned out that icebox as quick as a flash. Why, that Grinch even took the last can of Who hash. Then he stuffed all the food up the chimney with glee.
Now,
Grinned the Grinch.
I will stuff up the tree.
As the Grinch took the tree, as he started to shove, he heard a small sound like the coo of a dove. He turned around fast, and he saw a small Who, little Cindy Lou who was no more than 2. She stared at the Grinch and said,
Santa Claus, why? Why you taking our Christmas tree? Why?
But you know, that old Grinch was so smart and so slick, he thought up a lie, and he thought it up quick.
Why, my sweet little tot,
The fake Santa Claus lied.
there's a light on this tree that won't light on one side. So I'm taking it home to my workshop, my dear. I'll fix it up there. Then I'll bring it back here.
And his fib fooled the child. Then he patted her head, and he got her a drink, and he sent her to bed. And when Cindy Lou Who was in bed with her cup, he crept to the chimney and stuffed the tree up. Then he went up the chimney himself, the old liar, and the last thing he took was the log for their fire. On their walls he left nothing but hooks and some wire. And the one speck of food that he left in the house was a crumb that was even too small for a mouse. Then he did the same thing to the other Who's houses, leaving crumbs much too small for the other Who's mouses.
You nauseate me, Mr. Grinch, with a nauseous super nose. You're a crooked, dirty jockey, and you drive a crooked horse, Mr. Grinch. Your soul is an appalling dump heap overflowing with the most disgraceful assortment of rubbish imaginable, mangled up in tangled up knots. You're a foul one, Mr. Grinch. You're a nasty, wasty skunk. Your heart is full of unwashed socks. Your soul is full of gunk, Mr. Grinch. The 3 words that best describe you are as follows, and I quote, stink, stank, stunk.
It was 1:15. All the Who's still abed, all the Who's still a snooze when he packed up his sled. Packed it up with their presents, their ribbons, their wrappings, their snoof and their fuzzles, their tringlers and trappings. 10,000 feet up the side of Mount Crumpet, he rode with his load to the tip-top to dump it.
Pooh-pooh to the Who's.
He was grinchily humming.
They're finding out now that no Christmas is coming. They're just waking up. I know just what they'll do. Their mouths will hang open a minute or two. Then the Who's down in Whoville will all cry, boo-hoo. That's a noise
Grinned the Grinch.
that I simply must hear.
He paused, and the Grinch put a hand to his ear, and he did hear a sound rising over the snow. It started in low, then it started to grow.
Fahu for a star,
But this sound wasn't sad. Why, this sound sounded glad. Every who down in Whoville, the tall and the small, was singing without any presents at all. He hadn't stopped Christmas from coming. It came. Somehow or another, it came just the same. And the Grinch, with his Grinch feet ice cold in the snow, stood puzzling and puzzling.
How could it be so? It came without ribbons. It came without tags. It came without packages, boxes, or bags.
He puzzled and puzzed till his puzzler was sore. Then the Grinch thought of something he hadn't before. Maybe Christmas, he thought, doesn't come from a store. Maybe Christmas, perhaps, means a little bit more.
And what happened then? Well, in Whoville they say that the Grinch's small heart grew 3 sizes that day.
And then the true meaning of Christmas came through, and the Grinch found the strength of 10 Grinches, plus 2.
And then that his heart didn't feel quite so tight, he whizzed with his load through the bright morning light.
With a smile to his soul, he descended Mount Crumpet, cheerily blowing hoo-hoo on his trumpet.
He rode into Whoville. He brought back their toys. He brought back the floof to the Who girls and boys. He brought back their snoof and their tringlers and fuzzles. Brought back their pantukas, their dafflers and wuzzles. He brought everything back, all the food for the feast. And he himself, the Grinch, carved the roast beast. Welcome Christmas, bring your cheer. Cheer to all Who's far and near. Christmas Day is in our grasp, so long as we have hands to clasp. Christmas Day will always be, just as long as we have we. Welcome Christmas while we stand heart to heart and hand in hand.
We hope you've enjoyed the JPAC Radio Players presentation of How the Grinch Stole Christmas. And now, we are proud to present the second half of our show this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, A Charlie Brown Christmas.
It was finally Christmas time, the best time of the year. The houses were strung with tiny colored lights, their windows shining with warm yellow glow only Christmas could bring. The scents of pine needles and hot cocoa mingled together, wafting through the air, and the sweet sound of Christmas carols could be heard in the distance. Fluffy white snowflakes tumbled from the sky onto a group of joyful children as they sang and laughed, skating on the frozen pond in town. Everyone was happy and full of holiday cheer. That is, everyone except for Charlie Brown.
I think there must be something wrong with me, Linus. Christmas is coming, but I'm not happy. I don't feel the way I'm supposed to feel. I just don't understand Christmas, I guess. I might be getting presents and sending Christmas cards and decorating trees and all that, but I'm still not happy. I always end up feeling depressed.
Charlie Brown, you're the only person I know who can take a wonderful season like Christmas and turn it into a problem. Maybe Lucy's right. Of all the Charlie Browns in the world, you're the Charlie Browniest.
Time to check my mail.
Hello in there?
Rats, nobody sent me a Christmas card today. I almost wish there weren't a holiday season. I know nobody likes me. Why do we have to have a holiday season to emphasize it? Here comes Violet. She didn't send me anything. Thanks for the Christmas card you sent me, Violet.
I didn't send you a Christmas card, Charlie Brown.
Don't you know sarcasm when you hear it? What's this? A brown snowman.
Hi, Charlie Brown.
Pigpen, you're the only person I know who can raise a cloud of dust in a snowstorm. I sure wish I could be happy about Christmas. It looks like Schroeder, Linus, Lucy, and Patty are. I see Lucy's got her psychiatric booth open. Maybe I should go talk to her.
Try to catch snowflakes on your tongue. It's fun.
Needs sugar. It's too early. I never eat December snowflakes. I always wait until January.
They sure look ripe to me.
Lucy, I think you have a customer at your booth.
A customer! May I help you?
I am in sad shape.
Wait a minute. Before you begin, I must ask that you pay in advance. 5 cents, please. Boy, what a sound. How I love hearing that old money plate. That beautiful sound of cold, hard cash. That beautiful, beautiful sound. Nickels, nickels, nickels. That beautiful sound of plunking nickels. All right, now, what seems to be your trouble?
I feel depressed. I know I should be happy, but I'm not.
Well, they say on TV, the mere fact that you realize you need help indicates that you are not too far gone. I think we better pinpoint your fears. If we can find out what you're afraid of, we can label it. Are you afraid of responsibility? If you are, then you have hypengiophobia.
I don't think that's quite it.
How about cats? If you're afraid of cats, you have allurophagia.
Well, sort of, but I'm not sure.
Are you afraid of staircases? If you are, then you have climacophobia. Maybe you have thalassophobia. This is the fear of the ocean. Or gephobia, which is the fear of crossing bridges. Or maybe you have pantophobia. Do you think you have pantophobia?
What's pantophobia?
The fear of everything.
That's it! Actually, Lucy, my trouble is Christmas. I just don't understand it. Instead of feeling happy, I feel sort of let down.
You need involvement. You need to get involved in some real Christmas project. How would you like to be the director of our Christmas play?
Me? You want me to be the director of the Christmas play?
Sure, Charlie Brown. We need a director. You need involvement. We've got a shepherd, musicians, animals, everyone we need. We've even got a Christmas queen. Me!
I don't know anything about directing a Christmas play.
Don't worry. I'll be there to help you. I'll meet you at the auditorium. Incidentally, I know how you feel about all this Christmas business. Getting depressed and all that. It happens to me every year. I never get what I really want. I always get a lot of stupid toys or a bicycle or clothes or something like that.
What is it you want?
Real estate.
Good grief.
Hey, what is your dog doing to his doghouse with all of those Christmas lights and decorations?
I don't know. Snoopy, what's going on here? What's that flyer you have? Let's see. Find the true meaning of Christmas. Win money, money, money. Spectacular, super colossal, neighborhood Christmas lights and display contest? Lights and a display contest? Oh no, my own dog gone commercial. I can't stand it.
Big brother, I've been looking for you. Will you please write a letter to Santa Claus for me?
Well, I don't have much time. I'm supposed to get down to the school auditorium and direct the Christmas play.
You write it, and I'll tell you what I want to say.
Okay, shoot.
Dear Santa Claus, how have you been? How is your wife? Did you have a nice summer? I've been extra good this year, so I have a long list of presents that I want.
Oh, brother.
Please note the size and color of each item and send as many as possible. If it seems too complicated, make it easy on yourself. Just send money. How about 10s and 20s?
10s and 20s? Oh, even my baby sister.
All I want is what I have coming to me. All I want is my fair share.
Good grief. I need to get over to the auditorium.
Meanwhile, over at the auditorium, there was music and dancing.
All right, quiet, everybody. Our director will be here any minute, and we'll start rehearsal.
Director? What director?
Charlie Brown.
Oh no, we're doomed. This will be the worst Christmas play ever.
Here he comes. Attention, everyone. Here's our director.
Well, it's real good seeing you all here. As you know, we are going to put on the Christmas play. Due to the shortage of time, we'll get right down to work. One of the first things to ensure a good performance, pay strict attention to the director. I'll keep my direction simple. If I point to the right, it means focus, attention, stage right. If I make a slashing motion across my throat, it means cut the scene short. If I make a revolving motion with my hand, it means pick up the tempo. If I spread my hands apart, it means slow down. It's the spirit of the actors that counts, the interest that they show in their director. Am I right? I said, am I right? Stop the music. All right, now, we're going to do this play, and we're going to do it right. Lucy, get those costumes and scripts and pass them out. Now, the script girl will be handing out your parts.
Frida, you're the innkeeper's wife.
Did innkeepers' wives have naturally curly hair?
Pigpen, you're the innkeeper.
In spite of my dirty outward appearance, I shall try to run a neat inn.
Linus, you're a shepherd.
Every Christmas it's the same. I always end up playing the shepherd.
Linus, you've got to get rid of that stupid baby blanket you always carry. And here, memorize these lines.
I can't memorize these lines. This is ridiculous.
Memorize it and be ready to recite it when your cue comes.
I can't memorize something like this so quickly. Why should I be put through such agony? Give me one good reason why I should memorize this.
Watch my fingers. I'll give you 5 good reasons. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Put them together and they make a fist.
Those are good reasons. Yeah, Christmas is not only getting too commercial, it's getting too dangerous too.
And get rid of that stupid blanket. What's a Christmas shepherd going to look like holding a stupid blanket like that?
Well, this is one Christmas shepherd who's going to keep his trusty blanket. See, it's a shepherd's headdress. You wouldn't hit an innocent shepherd, would you?
Okay, Mr. Director, the cast is set. Take over.
All right, let's have it quiet, please. Places, everybody. Schroeder, set the mood for the first scene. Cut. No. Look, let's rehearse the scene at the end. Pigpen, you're the innkeeper, and Frida, you're his wife.
This can't go on. There's too much dust. It's taking the curl out of my naturally curly hair.
Don't think of it as dust. Think of it as maybe the soil of some great past civilization. Maybe the soil of ancient Babylon. It staggers the imagination. You may be carrying soil that was trod upon by Solomon or even Nebuchadnezzar.
Sort of makes you want to treat me with more respect, doesn't it?
You're an absolute mess. Just look at yourself in the mirror.
On the contrary, I didn't think I looked that good.
Sally, come here.
What do you want her for?
She's going to be your wife.
Oh no, isn't he the cutest thing? He has the nicest sense of humor.
Lunch break.
A lunch break? Not now. Come on, there's no time for foolishness. We've got to get on with our play.
That's right. What about my part? What about the Christmas queen? Are you going to let all this beauty go to waste? You do think I'm beautiful, don't you, Charlie Brown? You didn't answer me right away. You had to think about it first, didn't you? If you had really thought I was beautiful, you would have spoken right up. I know when I've been insulted. I know when I've been insulted.
Good grief. All right, let's take it from the top again. Places, action.
Oh, Charlie Brown, isn't this a great play?
That does it. Now look, if we're ever going to get this play off the ground, you've got to have some cooperation.
What's the matter, Charlie Brown? Don't you think it's great?
It's all wrong.
Look, Charlie Brown, let's face it. We all know Christmas is a big commercial racket. It's run by a big Eastern syndicate, you know.
Well, this is one play that's not going to be commercial.
Look, Charlie Brown, what do you want?
The proper mood. We need a Christmas tree.
Yes, a tree. A great, big, shiny aluminum Christmas tree. That's it, Charlie Brown. You get the tree. I'll handle this crowd.
Okay, I'll take Linus with me. The rest of you, practice your lines.
Get the biggest aluminum tree you can find, Charlie Brown. Maybe paint it pink.
Yeah, do something right for a change, Charlie Brown.
Okay, Linus, let's go. I don't know, Linus. I just don't know. Well, I guess we'd better concentrate on finding a nice Christmas tree.
I suggest we try those searchlights, Charlie Brown.
There are a lot of trees here.
This one's pretty. Pretty metallic. This really brings Christmas close to a person.
Look at this little one.
Gee, I didn't know they still made wooden Christmas trees.
This little green one here seems to need a home.
I don't know, Charlie Brown. It's really little and not very full. Remember what Lucy said? It doesn't seem to fit the modern spirit.
I don't care. We'll decorate it, and it will be just right for our play. Besides, I think it needs me.
So Charlie Brown bought the little tree while Lucy ran the Christmas play rehearsal.
Schroeder, what are we going to use for music for the Christmas play?
This is the music I've selected.
What kind of Christmas music is that?
Beethoven Christmas music.
What has Beethoven got to do with Christmas? Everyone talks about how great Beethoven was. Beethoven wasn't so great.
What do you mean Beethoven wasn't so great?
He never got his picture on trading cards, did he? Have you ever seen his picture on a trading card? How can you say someone is great who's never had his picture on trading cards? Say, by the way, can you play Jingle Bells? No. I mean Jingle Bells. You know, deck them halls and all that stuff. No. You don't get it at all. I mean Jingle Bells. You know, Santa Claus and ho, 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 and mistletoe, and presents to pretty girls. That's it!
We're back, and I've got our tree.
Boy, are you stupid, Charlie Brown.
What kind of a tree is that?
You were supposed to get a good tree, Charlie Brown. Can't you even tell a good tree from a poor tree?
I told you he'd goof it up. He's not the kind you can depend on to do anything right.
You're hopeless, Charlie Brown.
Completely hopeless.
Rats.
You've been dumb before, Charlie Brown, but this time you really did it. What a tree!
I guess you were right, Linus. I shouldn't have picked this little tree. Everything I do turns into a disaster. I guess I really don't know what Christmas is all about. Isn't there anyone who knows what Christmas is all about?
Sure, Charlie Brown. I can tell you what Christmas is all about. And there were in the same countries shepherds abiding in the field, keeping watch over their flock by night. And lo, the angel of the Lord came upon them, and the glory of the Lord shone round about them. And they were afraid, and the angel said unto them, Fear not, for behold, I bring you tidings of great joy, which will be to all people. For unto you is born this day in the city of David a Savior, which is Christ the Lord. And this shall be a sign unto you. You shall find the babe wrapped in swaddling clothes, lying in a manger. And suddenly there was with the angel a multitude of heavenly hosts, praising God and saying, "Glory to God in the highest, and on earth peace, goodwill towards men." That's what Christmas is all about, Charlie Brown.
Thank you, Linus.
Where's Charlie Brown going?
He just took the tree and left.
Let's follow him.
Linus is right. I won't let all this commercialism ruin my Christmas. I'll take this little tree home and decorate it, and I'll show them it really will work in our play. What are all those lights in my yard? Good grief. Snoopy's doghouse won first prize in the decorating contest. Oh well, this commercial dog is not going to ruin my Christmas.
Charlie Brown happily set the tree down. He picked an ornament from the doghouse and hung it on the little tree. The tree sloped way over from the weight of the bulb.
I've killed it. Oh, everything I touch gets ruined.
Charlie Brown left his tree.
I never thought it was such a bad little tree. It's not bad at all, really. Maybe it just needs a little love.
All of the kids took ornaments from the doghouse and decorated Charlie Brown's tree, transforming it from a thin little twig into a lush, beautiful Christmas tree.
Charlie Brown is a blockhead, but he did get a nice tree.
What's going on here? What? My tree!
Merry Christmas, Charlie Brown!
The herald angels sing, glory to the newborn King. Peace on earth and mercy mild, God and sinner reconciled. Joyful all ye nations rise, join the triumph of the skies. With angelic hosts proclaim, Christ is born in Bethlehem. Hark the herald angels sing, glory to the newborn King.
The cast of tonight's performance was George Kiskunas, Aaron Vogel, Jonathan Crofts, Georgia Seefeld, Louis Berebitsky, Aurora Strommen, Dan Hauser, Abby Berebitsky, Sammie Berebitsky, Camrin Thong, Abigail Seefeld, Gabrielle Forbish, Ellen Crofts, and Pat Hall. Our pianist was Sarah Lima, and our sound effects specialist was Mike Casey. Tonight's performance was directed by Brown and Jim Lyke. On behalf of the Janesville Performing Arts Center and the JPAC Radio Players, we wish all of you a merry and blessed Christmas season.